Peace, love, life, balance. What's going on, family? You see the title of the video. We're gonna get right into it. It's kind of a thing that's been going on. Reason I want to speak on this is because this is something I talked about and warned about with her. I had a video up. It was a brief video talking about basically how we don't gatekeep our spaces as black people, and about how we basically allow situations where we create something, or we make something better, and then someone comes along from the oppressors community and they take it and they take off with it, whatever. Now, I know there's arguments. One can say it's capitalism, one can say it's this, that, blase, blase. We just gonna answer the simple question. We're talking about Miss Just Pearly Things. Now, lately there's a situation going on. We're going to go over a couple of videos. This video in particular is the O'Shea Duke Jackson video. Even though Jason Black was the first one to bring this up to everybody's attention, shout out to Jason Black, shout out O'Shea. Whatever, it's all good. But the reason I'm going to start with this video is because O'Shea Duke Jackson mediocre tutorial reviews, um basically, the lineup of the Black Manosphere, Obsidian, Anton Daniels, all these guys. They were basically Team Pearly. I mean, they were Team Pearly. So this situation here definitely put them at odds. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that in a moment. Now, it's Just Pearly Things. Is she? What the question we're trying to answer today? Is she a racist? Is she a racist, or is she simply just someone who's an opportunist or a capitalist, and she made a mistake? Let's find out. Let's talk about this. So let's look into this. Now here, basically we kicked it off. She's interviewing this guy, Nick Fuentes. A lot of y'all know. If y'all don't know who he is, you can look him up. Self-proclaimed racist. He said he is. Also, basically a white supremacist. So let's look into it.
Yeah, well, it's okay. Blessing was more late African.
Well, he's black.
Yeah.
A few days ago, Just Pearly Things had an interview with white supremacist or white nationalist, whichever you want to categorize him, Nick Fuentes. Now, Nick Fuentes.
Now, let's say this. Personally, I know as a Panther, me being a Panther, y'all think that I'm against them being. My job is to care about my people. I personally don't mind so-called white national supremacists. I really don't care. Because the thing is, they have a right to do what they do. We have a right to do what we do. We don't necessarily have a problem with them being proud of their race, being proud of who they are. I don't even have a problem with them hating against us, to be honest with you. Where the problem comes in is that when it infringes on our territory, which as often happens with the oppressor in the society, that's what they do. We don't have a problem with them having Wall Street. We built Black Wall Street. They burned it down. So I don't have a problem with white nationalists. Be honest with you, I've had them call my radio show. I've had them come on the Panther channel I had up. It should be back up, and I've had some productive conversations with them. Now, do I trust them? Of course not. But I'm not one of these emotional revolutionaries who just, that's not even a revolution. That's a reactionary, actually, that get all in a hissy fit because, oh, look at him, he's a white supremacist. Okay, I'm a black supremacist. So what? So what? Let them do them. It's about us doing us. But let's get into it, family.
Is a 24-year-old man who is very outspoken about white nationalism and things like that. So she had him on a live stream. Now, what's very interesting about that is Just Pearly Things has a podcast that is based in London, and I would say that
fair use. Now the thing is, shout out O'Shea Duke Jackson, because shout out Jason Black. Basically, what's going on here is that he's replaying this. This is the moment that everybody was talking about. It was actually more than this is the first one right here.
The majority of her full-time cast, I would say, would be a member of the Black London community. Like there's King Richards over there. There's a few other brothers over there, and they've built that channel into a really good powerhouse. She's really organized and things like that, which would make me wonder why she's interviewing.
Now look, King Rich, Now, people saying that King Rich actually had his channel up before Just Pearly Things. Now he blew up when he got with Just Pearly Things. Auntie, I watched the show. I haven't really got big into her show. I've just seen it. They've now. This is the thing I noticed. I never even subscribed to her channel, but constantly, her videos being thrown in my feed. I haven't watched that many of them. I watched enough though. I watched enough. I watched some at length to get an idea of what she is. But constantly, she's been being pushed. She's been being pushed in the algorithm, and she's even been recently called the female Andrew Tate. So we understand that, hey, she's the most protected demographic, the most privileged protected demographic in the world, a white American woman. That's not a statement for debate. That's just facts. She's a white woman, a Caucasian woman. That they get away with. It's the statistical proof. They get away with the most crimes. They're the most protected. They had the least issues as far as any issue you could think of to the human race. Not all the time. I'm not gonna say all the time, but for most part, things that they're less susceptible to a lot of crimes. They're less susceptible to poverty. A lot of different things. They're very protected in our society. It's just what it is. So was that the reason she's being pushed, or was it simply her hard work, or was it a combination of both? I tend to say a combination of both.
Nick Fuentes. Now, typically, she talks about things like modern women. A lot of the things that you would see in the manosphere are talking points. And a lot of people have accused her of, stealing from Kevin Samuels or stealing from the manosphere and then monetizing it.
Yes, she has stolen from Kevin Samuels. She has stolen from the manosphere. When you listen to her talk, she's not very original. Now, to be fair, Kevin Samuels, a lot of y'all knew. Y'all think Kevin Samuels he just came up with everything. Kevin Samuels borrowed from a lot of creators, but what Kevin Samuels is different is that he did put his own touch to it. He did have his own perspective. He was very original as far as his perspective and the way he packaged his product. The entertainment value of his product was very unique. And since Kevin Samuels, that way of doing it has been a prominent figure. You see Melanie King, you see Just Pearly Things, you see a lot of different people doing that format. Anton Daniels, a lot of different YouTubers have kind of went similar. You see Kendra Daniels, Kendra G just flat out. I mean, the exact same thing. Damn it. So that is true. That is true.
But this interview with Nick Fuentes proves to me that she's trying to take her business into a different reality. Probably because she feels like at some point there's going to be a dead end for the modern women thing. And I noticed when she's live,
which is smart. Okay, let's just speak marketing. This red pill phase and these talking points of these women is going to go redundant. Okay, it's going to go redundant. Now, relationship dynamics will always be a talking point, but as far as the format, the way it's going, whether it be through cancellation, whether it be through that, it's going to somewhat go redundant. So what you're seeing, a lot of these content creators are blowing up, they're doing what's called a pivot. I believe that whether she intentionally was trying to be racial or not, Coach Greg Adams actually spoke on this. He actually predicted this. He was right about it. Actually, Coach Greg, actually give him props. He predicted this whole situation with Just Pearly Things. He collabed with her, and he still predicted the whole situation. He's a guy that's kind of a straight down the middle shooter. Check out his channel. He's really, even though he's kind of technically under red pill comfort, he's more of a balanced individual. He's not really per se trying to shoot everything one way. That is true with her. That's the thing. She is doing what's called a pivot, which is marketing wise, you always want to prepare for that because you understand you can't, the same thing is not going to always pop. And even if it does, you just want to have, yourself set up as a backup plan. So on the surface level, we can definitely make the case that this is a pivot.
she doesn't get nearly as many viewers as Fresh and Fit. So I think she's trying to make the same pivot that Adam 22 is trying to make, and even like Joe Budden. They're trying to bring on like controversial people. You see Adam 22 bringing on people like Tariq Nasheed. He wants to have Tariq Nasheed debate people on his platform and all that. And again, that's to get into a larger audience.
Adam 22, another guy who fits this same question, who's been doing this for years, Vlad TV. They basically all under the same boat. they are capitalizing on black issues, black culture, and monetizing it. And when I saw her coming up, you would see the same kind of comments, same thing. And we history, we did this with Elvis, Eminem. Our people, we are very compassionate, inviting people. So when people embrace our culture, we bring them right in. They say, "Well, Max Kellerman, oh, Max more black than Stephen A." Just stupid shit. And we always never put our guards up. This oppressor been doing the same thing for hundreds of years, shit, thousands if you really want to get technical. And every time we create something or we have something to ourselves, we just can't help but let them in. Now, I don't have any problem with I'm not a racist or not a person who against white people per se. But we cannot do that when they to their things. They only let us get so far in their things. They can come into our situations and go all the way to the top. She has now, maybe not because since he's dead, but she has actually surpassed Kevin Samuels as subscribers from when he was alive in a very short time, using a lot of his talking points and format. Not just him, but other black creators, I keep Kendra, Crimson Capsule. You see, like Six to God. Shout out to her fine ass. I mean, she basically, kind of like biting from everybody. She don't have a real her whole shtick is that she just pretty much a plain Jane conservative, not conservative but traditional white girl. That's her selling point. And she know what the deal is. She know that these Negroes love them some pasty skinned white girls. You can say she appealing, of course, is the white dudes loving it, of course, absolutely. But she know what she's doing. And from a hustler standpoint, you got to give props. But from a culture standpoint, we got to call it out for what it is.
Right. And that's not just them doing it. It's a lot of people. Valuetainment is doing that same playbook. So all of them are trying to get into a different market. In doing so, they're using people who will have controversial views, such as Nick Fuentes. Now, let me just say this. Popular YouTuber Jason Black, who also runs the business YouTube channel.
Jason Black, he straight up, he chopped her. He's chopping her live right now again. I mean, not just her, but O'Shea, all of them as we speak. And shout out Jason Black. Definitely have a lot of good content. Check him out. I don't agree with him on every single thing, but being that I'm also pro black now, and also Panther, we obviously it's a lot that we agree on, and he kind of got straight to the point. But let's just keep going to it. Let's just hear what's going on here.
Has pointed this out, and I know brother Jason Black. He was way more popular than me when I first started YouTube, and he has a really strong audience. He has a really loyal fan base. I've had a chance to talk to him one time on Instagram, not Instagram, Facebook Messenger. We were both friends on Facebook, and I like what he has to say as a pro black myself. Right, I don't disagree with him too much for the things that I've heard. However, when he criticized Just Pearly Things in the past, people were saying that he was a hater, he was jealous of her success, and all of this, right?
Now, O'Shea, my man's O'Shea. Where we at here? We're gonna come back here. let's just we're gonna come back here. Hold on 1 second, family. I want to pull up this video when she came in. Now look, this is the title of his video, and we're gonna go in the comment. And now with O'Shea, not saying he edits his comments, but usually his comments, the people, he got a very strong base. Usually the comments kind of go with the flow of it. I'm gonna go through the whole video, but let's just where's that video? Where I'm trying to find it here. Let me find it here. He did a is she the new woman king? There we go. And I'm not trying to say O'Shea was all the way down, but he wasn't coming at it how he is now. Since then. And he was basically, he wasn't calling Cass a hater. Same with Coach Grill. He wasn't, they was like that. They was basically saying kind of, hey man, she on the ground, she working hard. Let's look at some of the comments in the video. You can't hate on the girl. She did what most black women refuse. Now this is 5 months ago. When she started when Pearl is dominating for the women because she works hard and that this is a black chick saying this. She's young, entertaining, and in fact, she's not that entertaining to me. But she knows how to put together entertaining. But her thing is I disagree with the entertaining part. And what separates Pearly from all black women that is doing red pill content is that she does a lot of live shows. She streets interviews, breakdowns her own. Everybody, look at all these people. It's nothing but comments towards. I watched a lot of Pearl's content, Kevin's content. Now these are black people primarily, as far as I can see. They both elevated the tone of production value. I wholeheartedly agree. She was walking with open arms. There was no resistance. Now Jason Black, to be fair, was talking about this back then. Not just him, it was other content creators. I mentioned something. It was like, it's not that, it's not, this is the thing I need to understand, family. Right? It's not so much, no, it's not that from a balance perspective. It's that we let them in so easily. We don't give them no type of nothing, background check, nothing, fam. We just let all that's required for white people to do to get into our spaces is to just have talent. Meanwhile, and they talking as if these other creators not talented. Like it's black creators that's doing what it's that one comment to know what the hell she talking about. A lot of black female creators have been doing that for years and not getting support. You go to part of the super chats and she and see her support, she getting all that. She's getting mad support from black. Well, she was. I don't know if she is now, but she was. We set ourselves up all the time. Let's keep it 100. We set ourselves up. She was put on by us. That's the real. She was put on by us. Okay, let's listen to O'Shea. Let's see what he got to say in this video. We'll go back to that one. Let's talk about this.
Has now allowed this woman to come and speak in these spaces. You know, she has.
Let me say this. I very rarely heard her speak on black issues.
Wait, let's go back a little bit.
I've seen her have.
There's a new woman emerging, and the woman is not a black woman, but is a white woman, and this white woman, her name is Pearly, and now this woman is coming into the manosphere space, speaking on black relations.
See, now check this out. The brother he playing, I missed the part I forgot I know who he is, but I can't think of right now. The brother he playing, right? You see how he kind of sideways clowning him with the cricket sound? Basically, he not O'Shea very good at what he do, man. Shout out to him. You know, he's very, very talented, creative, been around for a minute. Much respect. But he's sideways kind of clowning this guy for basically calling this situation out with Pearly. This is 5 months ago. So it was I'm showing this to show y'all that it's been a lot of us saying like, hey, why are we letting her get in so easy? It ain't, she's not paying any. It's that's what it is. Why are we elevating her over other ones of our own kind that's doing the same thing that's just as good, if not better, that even look better? Look at this chick, man. Come on, fam. Look at her, fam. She got a quarterback face, fam. She looked like not to. I'm gonna just keep it 100, fam. She looked like Peyton Manning. You know what I mean? And you got fine sisters like Six the Goddess, and I mean, you know, and a lot of other sisters, you know, Pink Pill, and you got these sisters that's been doing this on the grind before her. You know, Crimson. I don't know, is it Crimson? I keep getting her. Kendra, the chick that run the Crimson, whatever. Apologies, sister. Apologies, sister. I've seen it, but Crimson Castle. You know, they've been doing this for a minute. They've been good. They've been great at it, and she just came in and we blew her right past her. So can we blame her? Can we really blame her? Let's listen.
Relationships, and she's not black. But the manosphere has now allowed this woman to come and speak in these spaces. You know, she has.
Let me say this. I very rarely heard her speak on black issues. I've seen her have a lot of black people, and they may be speaking on black issues. I think I maybe seen her once. So to be fair,
brother. It's her platform, O'Shea. It's her show, man. So if it's black people speaking on black issues on her show, bro, like it's her show. So she's definitely using it's black people predominantly, and they speaking, and she's there, and she's giving the platform for them to do it but it's her platform, okay? So I mean, let's not do that, brother, please.
I don't think she really engages in that at all. Very rarely, if anything. But I have noticed that she does have a lot of black collaborations. I believe that she does date black men, and that does, that does give a lot of, somewhat of respect with the brotherhood. But let's
And that's the problem, man. Y'all so thirsty, man. Come on. You want to date? I'm not a salami police. I'm not a Johnson police, man. Sleep with whoever you want to sleep with, whatever makes you happy, brother. Go for it. Do what you got to do. But the problem is, y'all overtly, overtly, overtly undisciplined, unhinged, and basically just wild with y'all lust for these crackers, man. Y'all overdo it. Like if you want to be with, just go be with one and just go do your thing, man. You don't gotta announce it and then this who y'all pick. This y'all queen. Go ahead.
let's go ahead and continue.
She has over 500,000 subscribers. She took she took things and she went over to London. And in London, you can see that she's sitting in spaces with predominantly black people. And they're talking about submission and all the things that the manosphere has talked about over the years. She's holding the conversation. But she is a woman that is not African American or black.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
And she's able to come into black spaces and monetize our issues.
Yeah, she's monetizing. Think about this, fam. Y'all was mad that people wanted Kevin Samuels like just annihilated and canceled. But at least he was a black man within the community and has invested into the community. And she didn't get none of that hardly. She just now getting it. She been going scot free from women and men. You get women who didn't like her because she said certain things, whatever. Outside of that, I'm talking about from a corporate level, from a unified level as a community. She didn't get nowhere near the heat Kevin Samuels got.
But the problem that I have with this is you would never see uh, a black person, male or female, go into white spaces and exploit their issues for profit or gain. That's not something that you're going to see.
You ain't see it because they're not gonna let it. They ain't gonna let that happen. We let that happen all the time.
But in the black spaces, it happens all the time. Pearly, when you look, she's talking about black women being submissive. She's talking about body count. She's talking about all the things. She's pulling out statistics of single motherhood. She's doing all these things, right? And every now and then
And we got to keep it a buck, man. Let's stop when certain we know that certain statistics don't really technically be in our favor, especially in these spaces. Now, some of these statistics are could be challenged. Let's just say that, but we know that they don't favor us. So you don't have to necessarily say that's a basically throw a rock, hide your hands semantical argument. She don't talk about black issues as much because O'Shea kind of in the middle on this video. I'm gonna be fair, O'Shea, he's just kind of laying it out there, and he's not taking her side or no side on this video. He just kind of pointed it out. Now he kind of did a little bit of that, like I point out, but not really, nothing severe. The thing is that they don't get we don't give them that they're able to say certain things, right? They can it's like speaking in codes. They can say certain things that we all know pertain to the black community. Not just her, but a lot of white crazy. We all know that who they talking about. But they can couch it by saying, "Well, I didn't say it. I didn't necessarily say that they would have to be black. There's issues in the white community." Come on, man. We know who you talking about. Let's stop it. Let's stop playing.
may have a white person on there or Latino women, but what's blown her up is her using red pill content in black spaces. She's not using
that seems to be true, especially with the Black London cast. Now let me kind of get back to the fact of what he said. You don't see black people going to what is like the white mainstream manosphere.
Let's skip ahead real quick.
Michelle, they attack her. When they see Danica Marie, come on, we've seen several. Like, look at what Donovan Sharp said about Danica Marie. Donovan Sharp called Danica Marie every name. But if you see Donovan Sharp's page, he had no problem doing an interview with Just Pearly Things.
Exactly. With Donovan Sharp, he's a coon. So like really, who is he?
I'm gonna tell you why that is. Because she is a white woman. All right? A lot of black men trust white women more than they trust black women. For whatever the reason is. I'm not
Very true. Very true. Oh, very true.
not trying to tell you what you know how to behave or how to act, but yes, most people do not believe that that any black woman has any good to do or perform with black men. But if non-black women are involved, you brothers out there believe that. I believe what he's saying from that is usually true. I'm not saying that for all black men, but 70-80%. Yes, I definitely believe what the brother's saying is true there.
Let me see here.
I disagree with the brother. I felt like if some of the sisters understood the business more to the level of Just Pearly Things and could set up a podcast like
Okay, that's what I want to get to. This is it right here. So this is O'Shea. This is kind of his stance because he kind of leaned
but because
towards.
they have a white person in the room, all of a sudden these black people know how to be decent towards each other. Now that's a powerful statement. So in other words, if she wasn't there to referee, you would have a different sort of a show because people will be acting crazy and talking stupid. But in front of the white person, they know how to act. That's a very powerful statement. And I do
Hey, there's some truth to that.
believe also that that could be also true. I can definitely see that being true. But again, this is what I feel. I think the brother he had.
So let's get this. What I'm getting to, family. I know I bounced around, but this was his stance months ago. Okay. He gave a look. He basically played reporter. And like I said, that's how he chooses to do. But he wasn't really, understand, MTR, all the ones to collab, he cool with them. Black O'Shea, I'm sorry, Black O'Shea. O'Shea, man, he an OG manosphere guy. He a lot of the guys y'all like, from Kevin Samuelson for the P, basically Obsidian, they all came through or came up with him. Angry Man, Angry Man, they kind of came in together. I don't, as far as I know, could be, who knows, but he's kind of been like, I don't want to say a gatekeeper, but kind of like that for the Black Manosphere. Even Anthony Johnson called him the president of the Black Manosphere. So what he says, man, carries a lot of weight. So this is kind of what his final conclusion when she was really coming up in the game.
A few things I disagree with the brother. I felt like if some of the sisters understood the business more to the level of Just Pearly Things and could set up a podcast like that, because I see other black creators doing very well, I think they would do better if they understood the business and had more investment in the business. But overall, I think what the brother was saying is very true. To me,
now, is what he's saying wrong? That could be debated. I think that's just kind of a standard thing to say. It's easy to point at that, and that's what happens all the time in these situations. Because it's a capitalist society, we immediately what happens is we go to the well, you can just work harder and grind, and there's nothing. And I think that I'm not with the victim plan or whatever, or making excuses. I understand that, but I think too oftentimes, especially blacks that's in these spaces, that's in these entrepreneurial spaces, they get caught up in the we can just work hard and do better, and not understand that there are barriers. It is different. It's not the same playing field. Like what these sisters that he's talking about, they have it's. I don't want to go through all of them, but I've seen shows with that format. The sisters, and they do okay, but they don't get pushed like just Pearly Things got pushed. We got to recognize that. That is deep. That is, we got to understand that his name is deeper than just Pearly Things and whatever. Let's go back to this video. Then I want to go to something else.
This, right? So he on his channel, the business YouTube platform, he has broken down the interview with Just Pearly Things into timestamps. So it was very easy for me to follow to see what I wanted to see. And at first, Just Pearly Things, who has, like I said, a lot of black employees, King Richards being one of them.
Yeah, and I mean, this dude today was basically standing up for, and he got like they he got called the names or whatever, but I just think he was just trying to protect his bag. He way bigger than he ever was. He's just trying to protect his bag. Hey, we can't all be revolutionaries. We all got different missions, man. King Rich is just trying to get this money. He just trying to get to the bag. He don't really, would I do what he's doing? Hell no. I would take, that's disrespectful. I would have some, I wouldn't be, it's certain things you got to have standards for, but that's not where he chooses to have the standards at. Let him be what he is. I'm not going to knock him. I'm not going to praise him either though. It is what it is.
They were having a conversation about African employees versus American employees. And this is what, Jason Black was trying to point out, that he felt that she was trying to take a diss at African Americans. So I want to play that clip and let's see if he's right.
I wonder what Miss Pearly Things thinks of African immigrants versus black.
This is crucial. Let's pay close attention.
Americans, specifically descendants of slaves, foundationals. I wonder what she thinks of that. If we get into the immigration discussion, I wonder what she's gonna say if you ask her about that. Brace yourselves, all of her supporters.
No, and that's not a conservative position, especially not.
So let's just get into it. Let's check this out.
50 million people in 10 years.
Right.
Because America's got 300 million. So, what is that? 1/6 of the population in 10 years.
And so why is that?
Why does he support that?
No, why are you against him? Pro? Because in my head, see, I hire people from Africa, right?
Right.
Shout out Blessing.
Yeah.
Okay, so notice that. Notice how she said hire. Okay. Like she letting it be known I'm the boss here. Now look, we all know that she the boss. But she wanted to be known, hey, I hired y'all, you work for me.
And I just see like the work ethic of people that are like not from America, and they often work harder than the people that are from America. So in my head, it's like, wouldn't it help us economically if we had more, like if they had a certain like mindset in order?
Well,
Now, basically, she's saying, and that's why I'm down. That's why y'all gotta understand it's the difference between foundational Black Americans and immigrants. And this has been the thing going on. They're trying to pit us against each other. This before Just Pearly Things, it's always been an issue. She's making a distinction, right? And going back to the King Rich is not he's not FBA. So a lot of y'all brothers getting mad. That's why I'm not tripping on him. He's not from here, man. Y'all got to understand that just because people got the same skin color as us, they don't have the same experience from us. They're not. If you study Hebrew Israelite religion, they'll tell you flat out that they not of we totally different people. That they would be Hamites, some of them, not all of them, but some of them, and that they're not Israel. I'm just using that as an example. but there's always been some type of understanding that we are different. Okay, so the I can't really get mad at the brother the brother or the crew in London too much because they don't y'all gotta understand that's a whole different era. Yes, they have racism there, but it's not nowhere near, it's not the level or the of institutional racism that it is here in America. Y'all gotta understand that.
I told you you were going to get your hearts and your feelings and your souls broken. There's no way you can defend her now and sit up here and say you cool with it. She just outright told you, well, they work harder than people. Now, you know she means black. I like my African immigrants. They work harder than
Yeah, so the thing he pointing out, and I'm gonna just flat out say it, like I said, notice the thing, notice when she said higher. Or like in the way she said it, the tone, she was real friendly with this guy that obviously is a white supremacist. Now you got this dude, the black conservative, who now look, now I ain't even gonna get into this clown video, right? Y'all know who he is, right? He's a clown, man. He's a and I just don't. And if you a goofy, if you goofy enough to follow this dude and believe this dude, I mean that's on you. But you got the black conservative, right? Here we go, right here. This guy,
Why do you think
this guy right here? So his whole defense. Well, I don't even want to, like I said, I'm not gonna get into his whole video, but this guy right here, man, black conservative perspective, and the problem over his whole defense, right, is that her own employees didn't even think it was you dumb, you idiot. You idiot. Why would they mess up their bag? You think they finna go on there? They don't, like I said, they totally did. They finna go onto their channel, go onto her channel, which is her platform, or even their own. They got someone got their own channel and like fuck up their bag, bro. Come on, man. Like that was his talking point. Was that, well, her employees didn't feel right. Of course they not gonna do. Okay, if you like, okay, he's a big time YouTuber, right? He's got a pretty nice size channel, 586 subs. So let's say he going to YouTube offices and and they do him real dirty. They do him real dirty, something real dirty to him, right? I'm talking about in his face, not no like community strikes type ish, whatever. They flat out disrespect him, right? But let's say this is the only income he got, and it's a big one. Do you think that even though he feels some type of way and he mad that he just gonna quit or say something or come out against and speak right there? No, he's not gonna mess up his bag. No one's gonna do that in those situations. Very few people can do that. That's why I don't work. I don't put myself in a situation where I have to do that, because that's a hard thing to ask somebody to do, to mess up their livelihood, to make a stance. Because you're the same guy, this black conservative guy. He's the same guy that's going to tell like the protesters or people that he feel that are woke. And I don't look. I agree with him a lot on the woke stuff. We both a lot of it is garbage. I actually, it's a lot of things I could agree with him on. But just when these black conservatives go off, man, they be off the chain, and it's like they want to get their Coonan card double stamp, triple stamp. That was this man whole thesis. I try to find it. I don't like this dude voice, man. Like the dude, he just one of them dudes. I just ain't feeling this guy, man. But I try to find a clip where he says this at. Let's hear a little bit of this guy here, man.
A lot of black men who like white women. She's willing to accept a black penis.
I guess
so because
he was getting at O'Shea for dissing him. Because O'Shea got at him.
Just Pearly Things. In fact, there's this guy who I like a lot. Okay, I actually watch quite a bit of his content, Mr. O'Shea Duke Jackson, who did a video where he spoke about me. Okay, and I want to go ahead and play a clip of what he had to say about me, and then go from there. Take a look.
People were even telling her not to apologize, which I'll get to in a minute. But now here's the situation, and I want to talk to black men about this. You see.
Let's get in. Let's skip a little bit ahead.
Who like white women. She's who doing things with black people. knowledgeable community. She never talked. It's
I think I'm not
something
sure.
that she knows. You see, the black community will let her clip her, or some brothers outside of the black community. Like you have this one guy called the Black Conservative, which I'll deal with him a little bit later. But then don't apologize to woke liberals. I mean, it's just it's.
I mean, hold on 1 second. Here, I think here we go. Let's get it right here.
And had a lot of opinions that you guys disagree with. I just say the things that I feel personally, right? These are my opinions. And I'm actually, instead of trying to go back and forth with him, because I really don't want to, I respect him. Okay. I respect his content.
Respect to him. I know I dissed him a little bit, but respect. I respect him on that end. He not trying to, he just really doing what any man do. He defend himself. But the problem, he misunderstanding. And I don't want to, like I said, man, whatever. I'm not a big fan of his channel. And like it's black conservatives who I actually do like. I'm not against. I'm not. I'm neither Republican or Democrat. I could give a shit about either one. I'm about liberation. But the thing is that where he struck a chord with me was with. I didn't want to. I can't. I'm not. I don't have time to go into all of that. But where he struck a chord with me was when he's talking about basically the excuse that her employees had no problem with it. Why would her employees have a problem with it? That was my whole gist. Of course, they don't have a problem with it, brother. They getting money. They getting good money. They're not finna mess up that bag, bro. You know.
But you guys in the comments who
not get butthurt about it, understand where he's coming from. He's perpetuating this stereotype. There's a black person, I must have the same opinions as the broader black community, because apparently I'm not a part of the black community, right? This one,
I don't think that's what I'm saying, man. These political guys, dude, they got like built-in stuff they say. I watched that video. He won't even coming like that, bro. That's not even O'Shea style. Like you so you accusing him of doing something that you're doing right now. You're coming at him. You're responding back to him, accusing him of doing something that he's not even doing to get your point across to create for your larger narrative. That's the narrative you're trying to spin. So because you're trying to be adhesive to your narrative, you're trying to paint him in the box of that he's just saying this because you're not agreeing with that. No, that's not the reason, bruh. That's not the reason, man. And that's not the reason you a sellout, because you are a sellout. The reason you a sellout, bruh, is because you want to ignore. You trying to ignore the fact, and you're trying to make it like it's not a black and white thing when it is. Okay, now some things aren't black and white. This is very much so a black and white. You have this woman, Just Pearly Things, who's using black people's struggles, using black people's highs and lows to profit off of. Okay, like you can't get around that. You can't get around that. What she did was out of order. She had a white supremacist up there and basically talked down to black people like they wasn't shit. They just worked for her, and she agreed with them and laughed about it. She got and then came back on and double down. Then she finally apologized because she know that Negroes like you will accept that or be cool with that. Even though even though you wasn't cool with that, you said she shouldn't apologize to the woke mob. What woke mob, bro? You got to stop. Y'all, you politicals, you liberals, you conservative, y'all get your little talking points, your little names, y'all call people, and y'all put everything in those boxes because you're slaves. You're flat out slaves. This guy right here, the black conservative, that's what he is, man. He's a slave to that narrative. And a lot of black people have been rebelling because I understand the Democratic plantation and the Democratic Party is very racist. They're garbage as well. But the answer isn't to go to the other side of the same coin. You got one group of the liberals who want to keep black people to be perpetual victims, who want to keep black people basically underdeveloped, underappreciated. Basically, don't want black people to earn their work. They want black people to be always begging. Then you got the liberals not liberals. You got the conservative side who's want to tell black people just to, hey, ignore the systemic issue that got you in the situation. You can just start up, pull yourself from the bootstraps. And that ain't true for most of us. Yeah, we got some that can, but that's not true for most of us. You gotta have balance. So let's go back to this. I want to touch on this real quick and we're gonna close this out. So let's see here. There we go. This is a video that was
there. As I said, they chasing the bag.
Yeah, MTR, all of these guys. So MTR, y'all know he was rocking with a hard. So what happens is when we let them in our spaces and they betray us, you still got to go back home, bruh. And I like MTR. I like O'Shea. I like all these dudes. I don't really get into the just the conservative guy, man. He makes some good points here and there, but I really don't rock with him or nothing like that. But I like this guy. This guy's a good, cool guy. But he's he's very much into this system. He's very much into, which hey, more power to him. But when you rocking with this chick because you see she white, they blowing her up. You trying to, even though you already got a big platform, even push yours even further and collab. I understand the business part, but you gotta see what it is for what it is. If you don't be in these situations, now you in a situation where she dissed your community, and your community is still your main support. That's still your base. And now you sitting here, you gotta basically renounce her. Your bag got messed up with her, and now you looking silly. So let's just see what's up.
I no longer feel comfortable in having that dating show footage released along with the other content that was recorded up there onto your platform. I plan in the future not to release more content up onto the channel regarding my time in London. And to be honest, frankly, it really sucks because I had a lot that I wanted to be able.
Now, check. So you can see the look in his face, man. Mad, disappointed, mad.
To speak about. And again, to my community, to my audience, to the people who have followed me and will continue to follow.
All right, you all get the idea here. So from here on in, he's taking it out from here. But so he went ahead and he said, Pearl, I can't work with you anymore. I can't work in light of what's been going on, in light of the backlash. I can't work with you anymore. Now, some of you are going to question.
Right now, he looks like now, Jason Black calling it out. He goes on to call it out a little bit more. See how he looks. Look at this. Looks, and all of this over money, man. Greed, really greed, because all these content creators, Melanie Kings, the co-signer, even Anton Daniels. I'm not. I gotta watch the videos deep. I think he's still kind of. I think some brothers still a lot of brothers still co-signing her, still thinking that people overreacting. A lot of them, but he's a smarter guy than that. He understands what it is. These other dudes, I don't know. I don't know if they paid off or whatever, or they just that deep in their coonery. But at least this guy, you can say what he want. Yeah, he's adjusting because of the backlash, whatever. But at least he's understandable. He's somewhat there. We gotta stop. We gotta stop allowing our spaces to be overtaken without the proper steps. The same grind that Kevin Samuels, all right, was on YouTube for 4 or 5 years before he blew up. He didn't even he had to pivot, do this. He was talking to men. He was a fashion guy. Then he went to that. I started watching Kevin Samuels in 2018. I watched the whole pivot go on. I knew of Kevin Samuels before YouTube because I'm in marketing. I'm in marketing and image. And I actually got referred to Kevin Samuels by a mutual friend of mine, Maurice, and was on a call with him before a couple times. So when he talks about what he's doing in marketing, I can verify he was good then at what he do. And a lot of the techniques that he used, I can actually walk you through those techniques. They're marketing techniques. They even use in those conversations and closing techniques. But we don't, she literally came out of nowhere and just was boom. and we were the main co-signers. So to answer the question, is Just Pearly Things a racist, or she simply just capitalizing? Okay. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Do I think she's a racist? Absolutely. Absolutely. She's the definition of a racist. Now the definition, y'all, racist. The reason black people can't be racist, black people can be prejudiced, black people can discriminate, black people cannot like other races, whatever. Racism is a created system of hierarchy throughout race. She is using that hierarchy of race to benefit her. To benefit her. So she, by that definition, she is a racist. Black, you can't be, if you have no control and no hopes of control within a system, you can't be if you're not the one controlling that system or can benefit from that. Black people can't benefit from racism. We can't benefit from racism. Is she a capitalist? Is she an opportunity? Absolutely. Now, is she a racist in the traditional form that you guys describe racism? You know, you can be debated that she's not. Maybe you could just say, oh, maybe she made a slip of the tongue, or she did this, or she didn't understand. But that's just a hard argument to make. Okay, even with the little weak ass apology she did. Okay, she's definitely a racist. She knows what she's doing. Y'all, she's giving y'all that look like she's some. And look, since abolitionary, the liberal white women period been using black struggle to gain. Look at how much been done for white. It's been more done for white women in politics than black people in general. Period. They just hijacked the civil rights and turned it into the women's movement and blase, and just got. Come on, let's look. I'm gonna let y'all. I'm gonna let Bill Burr break down what happened. He break it down better than me. I'm at a loss for words. This is the truth right here. It's truth in comedy, man. It's truth in comedy. Let's play it real quick. Let's see. Let's just play it real quick, man. We're gonna let me see here. I feel blur. It's blur. Here we go. White women.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I think white women started it. I don't know. I'll probably get canceled for doing that joke. You know, how stupid is that cancel thing? Plowing ahead. Let's talk white women here, shall we?
Hey, it's kind of a clips, put together, but y'all he gonna get to the point.
I tell you, the way white women somehow hijack the woke movement.
Look at that. All white. Now look, I've been on it, as a Panther, we've been we don't agree with doing the bullshit protesting, but we, as security for our people, we've been on the grounds and doing all these protests, right? And it's been this what it's looked like. It'd be a lot of white women, liberal white women in particular.
It's the worst. The fucking worst. It's all they do is bitch, moan, and complain. I had no idea how difficult it was to be a white woman in the United States of America. Evidently, it's really difficult. Just to refresh your memory, the woke movement was supposed to be about people of color not getting opportunities, the at-bats that they deserve, finally making that happen. And it was about that for about 8 seconds.
Real talk.
And then somehow, white women swung their Gucci-booted feet over the fence of oppression and stuck themselves at the front of the line.
Word life. Word life. That's what happens. That's not just with that. That's with any movement. That's with economics, with everything. They know how to they know how to penetrate their way to the front. Look at this. Look how is a white woman. Look, we saw the video. We even asking the question? Is she the king, woman king of the manosphere? A white woman that's in Britain, matter of fact. You know. So I gave my thoughts on it. In closing, I don't. I know now. I don't believe. I'm gonna say this. I don't believe that Just Pearly Things is an intentional racist. I don't believe she's intentionally an intentional racist. Now, do I believe that? That don't mean that don't. Now, when I say that, that don't mean that she could be one on the inside and be fully knowing what she's doing. When I say intentional racist, I mean that she doesn't intend to offend people in a racial way. I don't think she intends to, which is all the more concerning because what that means is that she got so much other stuff it's going on that she feels when she was talking with Fuentes, she was comfortable, very comfortable with that, very comfortable, very comfortable. I believe that she got to a point where she was so comfortable she could kind of express how she really feel a little bit, just a little bit. And she didn't think nothing of it. You could tell she didn't think nothing of it when she did because she be doing that all the time with her black employees and people that surround her, and they don't say ish to her. So that's been her gauge. She ain't talking to nobody that's outside of that echo chamber. And it gave her a false insecurity and pride. She could just say what she want to say and do what she want to do. And she learning that ain't it. So with that being said, peace, love, life, and balance.